My name's Rhapsody and welcome back to Hearthstone Ranked, where we're currently playing the Control Freak Warrior deck. There's 5 days left in the January season. So it's my goal to make it to single digits, right? Get down to 9. So if I win every game from now on, that's 1, 2, 3. 3 more matches. If I win all 3 matches this episode, I'll get to 9. And then I can be happy about that. That's significant progress, right? That'll be officially the highest I've ever been as well.
Let the hunt begin.
Actually, also, I should probably sit a little bit up higher. There we go. Oh, baby. Actually, that hand is openingly... Sorry, that hand is openingly... What the fuck am I talking about? That hand is a good enough opening hand that I'm actually going to keep this Sludge Belcher. Because I feel like, in the control match... Sorry, in the aggression matchup, Cleave plus Fiery War Axe will win it for me 95% of the time. And in the control matchup, Sludge Belcher will lock that. Benny Rhymes. So I've got the coin. It's not an incredible amount of things I need to be afraid of from my opponent. If he does play an Undertaker this turn, I will actually have to Fiery War Axe it though, because then 2 Death Rattles could be played the turn after, and then the Fiery War Axe wouldn't kill it, because it would be a 3-4. Of course, I'd prefer to take it slower if I could. And I can. Oh, baby. I don't care about taking it slow now. With that many 2-drops. Yep. Plus, I get to establish a board. I've got a persistent source of damage on the board. I couldn't be in a better position. I mean, Whirlwind or Death's Bite in hand instead of Shield Slam would be the only way that I could be in a specifically better position right now. If I lose this, this is all down to me fucking up, basically. You're still another turn away from being able to Houndmaster that. So, in fact, I'm just gonna armor up. So, Direwolf Alpha, Timberwolf. There's a few things that can buff this to be a 2-2 to trade equally with the Cruel Taskmaster, but none that are particularly scary. This play plays around, oh, Leok off Animal Companion could be pretty bad. Oh, Glazuka could as well, wow. Huh? What? Hmm. I'll be honest, I'm thinking of armor up Shield Slam. Gives me a little more armor, slows my opponent down more. Opens up for Cleave and Cruel Taskmaster next turn, yeah, that's actually really good. Okay. Because there are immediately 2 targets, which means that my opponent is always going to be vulnerable to Cleave from now on. But if my opponent plays another card, I can Cruel Task one of these and then Cleave in order to hit one of these and clear the other card as well. So it's basically a Cleave activation. Which is a pretty solid turn 4. Allows me to generate a little amount of armor this turn as well. I mean, let's face it, I wasn't going to remove more than the base of it anyway. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm still going to do it.
Back to work.
So I'm fine with my opponent wasting the Glazuka charge in order to kill the Cruel Taskmaster, because when I summon the Sludge Belcher, my opponent's most immediate response, except for a silence, is going to be play a beast and then kill commands the Sludge Belcher. Then I get the 1/2 slime with Taunt, which this would be, the Glaive Zuka would be a very effective removal of. But hopefully the Glaive Zuka isn't around by that point.
To my side.
So I'm running a risk against silence here. I'll take 4 more damage if my opponent has a silence. Am I scared enough to armor up Shield Slam? Not yet. Especially with another Sludge Belcher in hand, I'm not scared enough. I've definitely versed this person before, though. Earlier in the season, we were both climbing as well. Kill command. Now I can kill that with a Whirlwind. I mean, Whirlwind developed Sludge Belcher would be pretty good, I guess. Yeah. So that's way better, because I got a Shield Block, Shield Slam, Fireworks, so... Shield Block giving me the ability to use Shield Slam, but also the health to sustain myself while using the Fiery War Axe for removal. I'm pretty far behind on cards, which I've just started to realize. It's inefficient use of stuff. Like, say... Cruel Taskmaster Cleave, right? After using Armor Up Shield Slam. So that was Shield Slam, and... Oh, this is actually lovely for me. Okay. So that was both Shield Slam and Cleave used to kill the Haunted Creeper. And also I had the Cruel Taskmaster kill the Web Spinner, but that gave my opponent another card. So that's basically where all the inefficiency came from. I just gotta do some draws off this Acolyte of Pain, so I need a Whirlwind or Death's Bite pretty soon. Your magic shall not save me. Okay. I think I value a 3/3 higher than 4 health.
I'll show them all.
This is the Death's Bite I was asking for. I could hold on to Lower there, but it's actually more important as a 5/5 body on the field than it is to be held at this moment. I also didn't want to develop the Death's Bite because I don't want my opponent to know I have a Death's Bite up until I use the Death's Bite. I could easily get crushed. By which I mean King Crush. Web Spinner. You gonna do that to me? King Crush? Malorn? You gonna do Malorn? What are we gonna see here? Or is it going to be a Silverback Patriarch? So it's currently my hope that this is an explosive trap, so I can draw a card off the Acolyte of Pain in my next turn. That's an odd card. I definitely cannot afford to use my Death's Bite against that. Lovely.
Let the pain speak to me.
I have to. So I haven't attacked with anything since that was played. So just in case it's freezing, I should attack here first. Yeah. It removes a beast from the field. Oh, it is freezing. Lovely. That's a free card draw. Go hell. Okay. Oh. I don't like that I have to do this. That's not a pretty thing to have done. Luckily, there's only one kill command left in the deck, and I've got a Sludge Belcher I can play. Plus, I've got pretty good card draw mechanic next turn. I mean, draw 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Oh, fuck you! Animal Companion. Summon a random Huffer. Double Huffer. Are you kidding me? Who did I piss off? Which elder god did I piss off so badly? The brawls in episode fucking 94. The Huffers in this episode. The Doomsayer in that other episode. Actually, that might have been an arena. I'm only focusing on the negatives though. There's been a bunch that have worked out for me. I mean, my opening hand there was fucking... my opening hand there was killer. It's just didn't work out for us. If this is mill/fatigue, I want this hand. If it isn't mill/fatigue, I hate this hand. So my opponent mulliganed all of their cards. I have to guess from that that they are a ramp and they didn't have Innovate or Wild Growth in their opening hand. Is that a fair assumption? I need a weapon. Oh, this is going to be unfortunate if I draw high cost cards. Yep. Hello, Theb.
Greetings. My greetings.
Okay. I'm just gonna develop it in case we're about to get, you know, Cold Light Oracle, Naturalize, Bounce Master, etc, etc. So now it actually can only be Ramp or Fatigue.
Strike.
From having nothing to play that turn. You're either a Ramp with a horrible hand or you're a Fatigue deck. That's the exact same way that I mentioned the other Fatigue deck, right? As soon as it came out, I was like, it's either a Ramp with a horrible hand or... oh no. Luckily I'm running lower on cards than my opponent is at this point, so if they Cold Light Oracle, they're gonna fill their hand faster than mine. Which means they run the risk of burning stuff. I have to be careful about not playing my 1/3 Acolyte of Pain, because my opponent can try and trigger it a bunch of times, maybe even heal it and continue triggering it. Is this a faster game or a slower game? Shield Block is a liability to me, but it's also the only activator that I have. Got 2 5-mana plays next turn. Basically cycle a card. Yeah.
Strike.
I don't think there would be a future turn where I would have the ability to shield block, like, safely. So I decided might as well just do it then. Rather than armor up and wait to shield block at a different time. Which would usually be my strategy. Except against fast decks and decks like this, where drawing is a liability for us. That's fine for me. I get 2 armor. I deal, what, 1 damage, I guess. Ish. And I get to bait out a card. Yep. Fine for me. So Loatheb actually can't get naturalized this turn? Yeah. Loatheb cannot get naturalized. Although I don't even want to be doing damage to the face, I just want to be playing cards. So if I don't want to deal damage to the face, why do I care about Loatheb not being able to be naturalized? Is that bad? I think that's bad.
Well played.
I mean, there's also the alternate
My thanks.
that my opponent was holding an Innovate, and they want to be able to innovate their 7-drop, which is Ancient of War, Ancient of Law this turn. I have a very efficient removal for those types of things, though. I'm actually just going to play the Shield Maiden.
I can take the hit.
Just buff up my armor as much as I can. What kinds of things make me pay for this? Poison Seeds is always going to be horrible for me because my deck is full of huge things. Naturalize, I guess, is pretty annoying for me, but it's still not the end of the game. I only burn 1 card off the back of that. I might even just throw out a Whirlwind on an empty board if that happens to me. Because Whirlwind in this matchup is not super important except for triggering Execute. The rest of the cards in my deck, like Ragnaros, Sneedsold, Shredder, Grommash Hellscream, all of those types of things, those are super fucking important. I need them to push the damage. Okay. Currently that only removes 1. Oh, that is a super, super costly removal. Very, very glad. Again, develop more threats. It really isn't going to matter that I'm hitting the face now because the Alexstrasza is just going to send him down to 15 as soon as I get to turn 9. Actually... 3, 5... It's not actually going to help me. Hoot hoot. By turn 9, I'll likely have already done more damage. 15 would heal them. Swibbity swibbity? What? That's not even going to help you, a swibbity swip. It would prevent me from using Whirlwind, basically, is all that a Swibbity Swipe would do right now. Looks like we're actually only going to get 2 matches in this episode. This is a very slow matchup. There's the Swibbity Swip. Oh, Coin Hero Power, that's fine.
Time waits for no one.
Oh, Cruel Task. Cruel Task, is that a good draw? You know what it is? It is a good draw, just so that I can play the Death's Bite. But if I... See, if I attack with the Death's Bite this turn... Oh, but then I... What about Harrison? I didn't even think about Harrison. I've got to force my opponent to heal. I have to force my opponent to use Antique Healbot, Healing Touch, that type of stuff this turn. Or Tree of Life is 9, isn't it? Innovate Tree of Life would be an amazing, amazing thing for me right now. I need my opponent to think that they're about to die. Healing Touch? Fuck! Wrong order as well. Yeah, at least Alexstrasza now does damage.
I bring life.
No problem.
Okay. So my opponent can run straight removal on both of my guys, except for Alexstrasza, without help. And if they do all of that, that's completely fine. They still need to heal, otherwise Gorehowl plus a bunch of other things could kill them. Tick, 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 tick. But that will actually cost you 1 life, and then Gorehowl will kill him. So... Do you have a heal in hand? Heal or taunt? Play enough cards and I'll just brawl your board. There's the Healing Touch. So yeah, this is exactly the matchup I told you it was. I think. Yeah, my turn last turn was way too greedy. Acolyte Pain Whirlwind. Not doing that to me. That works. Now I have to wait on a different win condition, so I need Ragnaros, I need Sneed's Old Shredder, or I need Grommash Shell Scream. I do have a Grommash Enrage out of Whirlwinds, but the huge problem that I'm running into right now is... What was the vibration on my desk? It was a weird vibration on my desk. Anyway, the problem that I'm running into... Did I forget what the problem I'm running into is? I totally did. Yes, that my opponent hasn't used either Naturalize, so I know they still have 2 Naturalizers. I know they still probably have 2 Grove Tenders, usually. A Cold Light Oracle, a Bounce Master. So I want this to be dead as soon as possible as well, so it doesn't get Bounce Mastered. Wasn't expecting the Ooze, I was expecting Harrison though, so I guess the Ooze is infinitely better for me. But then my opponent wouldn't have been able to Antique Healbot if they used Harrison, so we actually would have won that turn. There's better targets for Shield Slam. Am I scared of another Ooze? I think I am actually just cautious enough of another Ooze not to use Gorehell. I mean, let's think about it. Which big threats have I played? Alexstrasza. Loatheb in the earlier game, but Loatheb couldn't also be naturalized. So my opponent has had absolutely no reason to use Naturalize so far. So I have to assume that there is at least one in hand. Which means that Ragnaros is a dead card if played. And I haven't seen a keeper, have I? No. Was it Spellbreaker? No, that was the other game. Have I seen one keeper? There's a Cold Light Oracle. Have I seen a keeper? Ooh, that's unfortunate not to know.
Time waits for no one.
My opponent has Tree of Life. That's basically the only thing up their sleeve. I mean, Antique Healbot, Healing Touch. They haven't got much left. There's Ragnaros. I can't rely on it. Because Ragnaros is dead instantly. Ragnaros is 8 damage as soon as he's played, and it's also trash an opponent's card and Ragnaros after the 8 damage is dealt, and draw 2 cards. There's a Naturalize, excellent. That's 1 gone. I also don't want Sneed's Old Shredder to, Bounce Master and then... Oh, no Cold Light Oracle. No Sneeds. No Grommash. Don't want to draw Grommash either. This very quickly got into this territory. No Grommash. So many of my threats just... dust in the fucking wind. At least they can't make me draw any more cards this time. Well, they could naturalize one of their own cards, and then I would draw more cards. That's about it. So, maximal usage of cards this turn. Oh, fuck you. Seriously? The last 3 were all legendary. Like, win condition legendaries as well. My opponent has nothing to naturalize. Both Cold Light Oracles are gone. 1 Grove Tender is gone. Yeah, my amount of win conditions literally just got shat on. I can't play either of my Acolyte of Pains. Basically, they can only be... like, I can play one of them before a brawl, hoping it dies. So I play the Armor Smith first so that I can draw... not draw, so that I can armor up. I need my opponent to think that I don't run Ragnaros in my deck, basically. I need them to naturalize something stupid. And then I need Ragnaros to do persistent damage. Because I actually have no game finishers yet. Left. They all died. Yep, Wrath for 3 does that. That's both Wrath Scorn as well. One swipe only, though. I think this deck might only run one swipe, though. My opponent has one Healing Touch and possibly 2 Ancients of Law left in their deck for healing. I had to throw some cards out of hand. I've got another Shield Block in my deck, damn it. So, you might as well think of this as 3 cards left in my deck. So I'm going to be 3 turns of fatigue deeper than my opponent is.
What to do?
Of course this deck wouldn't run Harrison, because Harrison makes you draw. You don't want to draw in a fatigue deck. One swipe down. Come on, naturalize my face. I know you can't do that, don't worry. Oh. I think I should have waited. I think developing the Gorehowl now, there's no reason not to have done it last turn if I did it now. Like, why would I develop the Gorehowl this turn? The only reason to have the Gorehowl out... Yeah. The only reason to have the Gorehowl out on the field is if I'm expecting to use it plus Ragnaros to deal sudden lethal to my opponent. Armor up, shield slam, shield slam. In Fatigue Wars, my opponent's hero power is about as good as mine. They get 1 armor, they degrade 1 of my armor. What are my last 2 cards?
Ah, the great outdoors.
Guess we're about to find out. Oh, fuck yeah. Shield Block. I knew that was one of them. I have to draw myself into Fatigue in order to use Shield Block, by the way. Because I top deck this next turn, and then I draw myself into Fatigue with the first Shield Block draw.
Do you like to play with fire?
Acolyte of Pain, Brawl, Armor Up. I mean, I've still got 2 Shield Blocks and... Sorry, 2 Shield Slams and 2 Executes. Right, so I do have high-end removal. Fiery War Axe, lovely. Acolyte of Pain, Brawl, don't survive, fucker. Pretty much perfect for me. I just have to draw my opponent into Fatigue, that's all I can do. I need to outlast them in Fatigue. Which means that Shield Block is useful for this turn and next turn, but then after that, Shield Block becomes unplayable. I will actually take more than 5 damage recurringly if I were using it. So this is going to be Savage Roared as well. Really? No Savage Roar? So that's just 6 damage to the face? Not sure I'm in love with that play. Okay, I have to start playing a little more desperately. Smoke. First fatigue damage.
I'm almost out of cards.
Is there actually mathematically a way for me to win this at all? I mean, my opponent still has a healing touch. They've used two antique heal bots. They've got one healing touch left in that deck. Yep. They've also got a naturalize. And if they were clever, and they might be, I don't know. If they were super clever, they could naturalize one of their own cards to put me 2 further into fatigue. 2 further into fatigue at this point, by the way, is basically dead.
Of cards.
I mean, because I would draw 3, and then 4, and then on my next turn I'd draw 5. Whereas next turn I'm going to draw 3. So they're causing 9 damage worth to me if they were to naturalize their own card. Yeah, there's no way I can win. So, first off, it burnt Sneeds. I just want to go through this for a second. So the first card... Wait, no, it burnt a card before Sneeds. What was the card before Sneeds? It was something. It was... So Sneeds, and then Sylvanas, and then Gromash in a row. Right? So 2 of those are win conditions, 2 of those are control win conditions, and Sylvanas is also a naturalized bait. So that I would be able to actually use one of my win conditions there. Is there any way that I can win this game?
Drink with me, friend.
So another 2 damage, I guess. So, I've got...
Well played.
What was my last draw? Go fuck yourself. He's gonna fatigue his own guy now.
I must safeguard
My last draw was 4 into fatigue. So the next one is 5 and then 6. So yeah, that and then naturalize your own dude. You well played.
Well played.
Couldn't even concede in time. This is the problem with the fatigue matches. Takes 12,000 years. I mean, we're 33 minutes into a 20-minute episode. So, oh, I just want to get this straight, right? So we got naturalized and then Cold Light Oracle twice on the same turn. And of the 4 cards we burnt, 2 of them were our win conditions. Like, our only win conditions in the deck. And then one of them was super important control versus control. I'm amazed. I really am. Animal Companion, summon a random Huffer, and Cold Light Oracle burn an opponent's legendary. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself. If you have, please click like. It does let me get my content out to new people. There's also a playlist in the description down below with all of my Hearthstone ranked, arena, and adventures. You'll also be able to find the deck list in the description down below. It's the Control Freak Control Warrior. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself. We'll see you next time.